look how far we've come, all the things we've done, did it all with love, beauty from the bottom up. All I want is you, you're my favorite view, but there's nothing more, girl, you make my heart beat.
Welcome back, family.
Welcome back, beautiful creatures.
We are going to be doing a Friday episode today where we just have a conversation about traditional values, because we just did a live stream and somebody was like, hey, what do you think about finances in a traditional relationship? And I was like, it's been a while since we've done one of those. We should do it. But you have some wedding ring conversation that you just brought up before we went live. I was like, save that for the live.
I do. So we were on a bus in Costa Rica. We had just hit the second waterfall of our first trip. And I got really emotional.
Was it talking about the one where the bridge was, where we were taking pictures?
Where the bridge was.
I was like, we didn't do 2 waterfalls on the first trip. What are you talking about? No, we totally did. It was a roadside attraction.
And I believe in everything harboring energy.
Yeah.
I believe that the forest sees everything. Buildings that have been standing for hundreds of years hold the history of everyone who's passed through its doors. And I believe that wedding rings hold on to everything in a marriage. And we were sitting on this bus, making these amazing memories. And I was thinking about our marriage. And we've had really dope moments. We've had we've had tense moments, disruptions, not seeing eye to eye. And at the end of this, if you pass before I do, my wedding ring's going to hold everything that we've ever done together. It's going to hold the love that we've shared, the memories that we've made. And this is something that doesn't leave my body unless I'm showering or going swimming. So it absorbs all of it. And then just in that moment, and since then, me thinking about it, I'm just so grateful to be your wife.
I appreciate that. I'm glad that you said that on the podcast and not privately.
Yeah, why?
Because fuck people. Just because it's the hate.
Yeah.
I don't know. You've said that to me a lot over the last 3 weeks. We have a really crazy life. And like, we had a really dope life before the podcast. Podcast has just made it crazier because we get to travel and do a whole lot more.
We're not just traveling, we're traveling with people that share love and the same goal of just making memories and living in the moment and growing to become the best version of themselves.
We're doing the thing that I always wanted to do. So it's one of those things that you say and shit like that. It's like the natural thing is just say you're welcome. I'm glad that you're happy, that kind of thing. But there's a very real, like, it hits kind of like saying you're proud of me, right? Because it's one thing to be proud of me. It's another to say that you're honored to be my wife or that you're proud to be my wife, because that means I'm really doing the fucking thing, right? Because you're holding a value on that title because of the life that I've provided and like the way that we live. It means that I am a good man, right? And I'm doing the thing, so that's never taken lightly. It's nice to hear.
That was it.
Gracie L said this negates all the abuse. All right. So what are we doing for traditional relationships? What makes a traditional relationship? I'll make notes and we're going to come back and talk to them.
What?
Pink and blue jobs, I think, is a very prevalent part of that. Pink and blue jobs. What about you? What do you give me one and then I'll think of one and we'll just go down a list. Guys, while you're in the chat, you can chime in so that we can absolutely add things to the list to talk about, because we're going to go through and talk about all of these one-on-one.
You said pink and blue jobs?
I did.
I suddenly can't think of anything traditional.
Okay.
I just think about the way that we live our life.
How about finances?
Okay.
We can break the pink and blue jobs down into detail.
Okay.
Because that's going to be a big conversation, because that's a part of it.
I am the main parent for the children.
Parenting. Okay. Looking to see if there's anything else in here. Jennifer Knott said, so I will be running straight to my man because I realized I might not have told him lately. FYI, we work at the same place. Go tell him.
Go get him.
Go tell him. Grab his butt while you're at it.
Yeah.
Tell him that's from the To Be Better podcast. Make it weird. Look him in the eye.
Yeah.
That's funny. How a man should serve and how a woman should serve and what that looks like. Okay, so service.
Final decision making for the man.
Final decisions. God, my handwriting is atrocious. Date planning. We'll just put dates. Home responsibilities. We can put that on there. I think that's going to fall into the pink and blue job conversation, though.
I am a forever passenger princess.
Okay, we'll do driving.
Okay.
And cars, because there's a whole ass conversation there as well. Intimacy, his versus her perspective. Okay, intimacy perspectives. That's a good conversation. Intimacy. All right, let's start with pink and blue jobs.
Okay, well, hang on. How deep do you want to go into this? Because you're meant to be the protector and I'm the healer.
We can add that into service. We have nine topics. I think this is probably more than enough. All right, so with pink and blue jobs, starting off, pink and blue jobs are kind of like more like housework versus outside work in a way. Not all pink and blue jobs are going to line up. There are going to be people out there who find joy in washing dishes, or people who find joy in building decks, or whatever it is that they do. And that doesn't mean that you can't do them. It just means that you are taking on an extra responsibility if you want to do those things. So for me, blue jobs are things like cutting the grass, making sure the cars are maintained, fixing things around the house, making sure the toilet flushes properly. In the event that there's a toilet clog, unclogging the toilet, fucking that kind of shit. Things that require actual physical labor, like strong labor, carrying, unloading, that kind of shit. That doesn't mean that I don't ever help out with things around the house. It means that those are not my normal responsibilities. And if you need me to jump into those responsibilities, you have to say something. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume that you've got it and I'm going to go about my life. Pink jobs, in my opinions, are all of the housework. And that's really what it comes down to. Making sure the inside of the house is livable.
Cooking,
cleaning, laundry, right. Dishes, all the shit that women have traditionally done throughout
gardening.
Millennia. Well, see, gardening could be a universal thing if that's your passion, right? Like I'm not really big into gardening. Every time I buy something that I want, I'm like, hey, grow this. Because you have a green thumb.
Yeah.
I can kill an aloe plant, which says a fucking lot because those things are like weeds.
Yeah.
So
this is like the first time in 3 months our aloe plants have been watered.
Yeah, and they're thriving.
Yeah, they're doing great.
So
it's my love that's keeping them alive.
Yeah. Our mango tree is fruiting for the first time in like 6 years.
We plucked them today. We had 5, 6, 7 of them make it. There's still one more on the tree, and it's high enough that whatever's eating them can't get to it.
Yeah, whatever has been eating them has been fucking wrecking our tree.
Yeah, we lost 4 of them.
So what do you add on pink jobs? What kind of details do you have for that? Because I also view things, which we'll get into with the car maintenance, because that's driving in cars is part of this. So the part of the blue jobs is car things.
Any bugs in the household you deal with?
Yes.
Any critters, anything with more than 4 legs, I don't look at.
Yeah, I also think that it's our responsibility to make sure that the house is safe. Doors are locked. The final check of the domain is taken care of before bed, right? That's part of it. Making sure that the bills are paid. We'll get into finances. That's also a blue job. I believe it's my responsibility to make sure that we have everything that we need for the house. This is the argument of I get it to the house, you get it to the table. And that's the way that I view the blue and pink jobs. And I know that people get very hung up because, women don't belong in the kitchen anymore. We can be in the workforce. Sure you can.
I just don't want to be.
And in some cases you are in the workforce and so is he. It doesn't mean that you still can't have blue and pink jobs.
Yeah.
It's playing to strengths. If you were a blue collar worker by trade and you're out there doing trade work and I'm sitting in an office cubicle all day and I'm not a hardcore dude and you wanted to do all the blue jobs and I did all the pink jobs, as long as it was getting done, that's what matters.
Right.
But I do think that labor being divided like that works. So
this is also just for our household. My husband's in charge of the TV. I don't want to think about what we're watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have had many nights where I'm like, just give me the fucking controller, because you'll put something on and not skip or like hit the view next, or like the intro will play and like one of us won't get it, or I'll be on my phone and you'll be like, you're gonna hit the button? You're gonna hit the button? Come on, you're gonna hit the button?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I do the decorating of the household for holidays.
Yeah.
That's part of my pink jobs.
I
do the decoration, period.
It wouldn't get done otherwise.
Yeah.
I don't mind like setting things up, but I don't want to decorate the house. I don't give a shit about any of that. So like Christmas and Halloween and all the things where we're hanging stuff up, that is absolutely a you thing. And like I'll help you with it if you ask me to. I'll get the tree out of the attic or whatever and out of the garage, bring in the ornaments, all that stuff. But like I don't care about any of this. And that's something that we had a discussion on very early on. That doesn't have to be a pink or blue job thing. That's just the way that we are, because I don't care about holidays.
Yeah. I decorate for Christmas.
Yeah.
And by decorate, I mean we put up a tree.
Yeah, you also, when it comes to decorating, that's pretty much everything. Granted, we have a whole lot of stuff that is just there. We need to really purge and get rid of a lot of shit and start over. But we don't have a whole lot of stuff hung up either. It's just pictures that we've taken and pictures of us all over the house. And now there's tapestries because we started buying tapestries. But when we build out that man cave, it's going to be here's the furniture I want. Here's where I think the tapestry should go. Now do your thing. That's what I did last night when I brought all the shit home. I put my bookshelf together the way I want my bookshelf piece to look, and the rest of it, I was like, have at it, do your thing. Because you have an eye for that I don't have. So that absolutely makes sense. Yeah. I don't think I've got anything else on pink jobs and blue jobs. I do want to just touch before we move on from that even if you're not a stay-at-home, having the pink job and blue job thing still works. As long as people adhere to the expectations of what needs to get done. And like we said really early on in the podcast, if you have somebody that doesn't like doing dishes and the other person doesn't mind, that expectation list needs to be laid out early on when you move in together. These are the things that I'm responsible for. These are the things that you're responsible for. That way, and put it in writing, stick it to the fridge if you need to. That way there's not ever well, I thought that was your job. No, I thought that was your job. And now there's a fight because neither one of you want to do it. And then clearly defined expectations. Yep. And then as things evolve and new things get added, you just have to write them down. But
I also want to touch on before we move on. So cooking for me is a pink job. And with cooking, I believe that falls in with nutrition. And it's my job to make sure that the family's eating healthily.
Right. I agree with that.
Healthy.
Eating healthy.
That doesn't sound right.
Okay.
Let's just move on because I'm going to be stuck on it. Okay.
Moving on to finances. Finance is a big discussion because everybody thinks that if you're having a traditional relationship or marriage, that you should just not be working as a woman. And it's solely my responsibility to make sure that we have everything that we need. In an ideal situation, that would be the case. Like if I could handle the podcast and people would still watch it and we could do the life that we're doing and you could dip out and then like I could still make this shit work, that would be great. The reality is that you're half of this and that's not a possibility. So, but it is not on you to have to deal with any of the stress of our bills whatsoever. That's my responsibility. I pay your credit cards off because you have your own credit cards that get paid. I handle all of our mortgage, car payments and everything like that. I handle our IRAs. Everything that comes through financially is a me problem. If you are somebody that has separate bank accounts, I view that as problematic in a traditional marriage. I think that even if both of you have jobs, one person should handle all of it because it removes a load of stress from one half of the equation. Now, I do believe that they should have access to everything. There should be no hidden accounts.
Oh, yeah.
All credit card information. Everybody should be able to see everything that's going on so that there's not any type of insecurities or worry or abuse financial abuse, misleading, anything like that. Everybody will be on the same page of how much is going in and coming out. And I think the financial conversations have to happen weekly or every time something gets done. I made a huge truck payment yesterday. I was like, hey, I made this payment. This is how much we have left. You know, we're like 70% done on this vehicle, blah, blah, blah.
I received screenshots of payments.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you how much my car payment is, but I know how much it's paid off.
Yeah. Because that's the goal, right? Like you shouldn't have to worry about the stress of it. That's my job is to stress. Your job is to frolic. That's exactly where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the working aspect and you paying for their life, if you have the ability to retire your woman, that is a huge fucking flex. Being able to retire your woman and having a woman worth retiring is two very different discussions. I don't think that men should just get into a relationship and have their woman quit working and start supporting their ass. I don't think that's fair to the woman to expect. I agree. I don't think it's fair for the man to be expected to do that. And I think that is something that comes over time and a whole lot of conversations to make sure that you have the right person for that.
And worthiness of it.
Right. There needs to be discussions about self-care, social interactions for the wife that's doing the stay-at-home thing. Even if she has kids, there needs to be an opportunity for her to go out and do things. And we'll get into the parenting aspect of it in a minute because that's relevant to all of this. But I think that is... I think finance is unique. I think that when it comes down to it, every person's financial situation is going to look different. Somebody actually said on TikTok the other day, because we were having a conversation, it was the episode we did where the woman was dating a guy in the military who was making it so she could not charge the card until he moved the money from the account while she was in the line at the grocery store. Yeah. I actually think that episode drops this Monday. But there was somebody in the TikTok who was like, that's abuse. And then this chick was like, I'm sorry, the first person was like, I only get $50 a week in allowance. And the chick was like, that's bullshit. It's abuse. You should leave him. And I'm like, how can you say that that's abuse?
Right.
If this person makes $4,000 a month, their rent is $2,000. They've got 2 car payments, insurance, cell phone bills, and kids. That $50 could be all that's left. And that's assuming that they have a savings account, right? So for you to jump in and say that $50 is abuse and you should leave that man.
What if that's all he has left?
Right. What if he's missing lunches and eating leftovers every night so that she can have that $50? So instead of jumping into the fucking comment section and spewing your nonsense, why don't you shut the fuck up and let people live their lives?
Right.
That there's a whole lot of shaming that goes into that. You don't know the situation. So maybe ask, like, are you guys struggling financially? And if so, maybe give some ideas of what you guys could do as a side hustle to make more money so she has more than $50 a week, instead of saying that she should leave him. Zach said that episode is indeed this Monday, which will have been way past the point when you guys watch this episode because this is being recorded on June 4th. So anything on finances?
I do have something on finances. So I have an allowance, right? And that's a very loosely used word. If I am going to go plant shopping and my husband gives me $400, I'm not trying to spend all $400.
Right. That's why I'm comfortable giving you $400.
Right.
Because you don't spend it like that all the time. There's almost always a bring home.
Yes. When we were in Costa Rica, me and a couple of other ladies, one gentleman did join us, but he ended up going back a little bit earlier. We walked San Jose for the day.
Yeah.
We hit a couple of little shops, and then we ended up at the Jade Museum. You gave me $300 for the day. I spent half of it.
You spent less than half.
I spent $140.
Yeah.
I wanted to spend.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Okay. So here's the reality of that. And when I give you that kind of money to go do an outing, if you did spend it all, it's not the end of the world. Mm-hmm. If you found something you absolutely had to have and you wanted to blow all that money on, I don't care. I gave it to you to spend, but knowing that I can give you a large sum of money to go shopping and do whatever you want to do for playtime, and knowing that there's going to be money coming back allows me to be like that, because in my head, there's a running total. It's not, I have no idea what the running total is, but I know that if I handed you $1,000, you're not spending the full $1,000. And I view that as your next time.
I have more to
extra, right?
It rolls over.
Right. Exactly. It's like paid time off.
Yeah.
We're rolling it over.
Right.
But in my head, that's one of those things too, that I know that if you ever did spend that shit, you're going to be happy as fuck. Mm-hmm. Because you don't do that. I just had to have this thing. Well, fucking hell yeah, babe. I'm glad you got it. Right. That's where my head is with that.
And there's also a trust in that.
Right.
It feels good to know that you say I can spend $500 and I'm not going to come back home and be like, I spent $8.
Right. Well, that was a very real concern for me.
Yeah.
Because I've had people in my life where that's been the thing, and for people who are on a budget, that kind of shit can fuck up your entire life.
Might not be able to pay rent next month because of that.
Right. And for a man whose responsibility is the finances, to have that happen and then the woman be like, well, you'll take care of it. You always do. Like that's abuse in a way.
That's how the teamwork dynamic happens with the finances.
Because there's trust.
Yeah.
Yep. Rachel said, how would I ask to compare finances without my boyfriend getting defensive? Every time I ask anything money related, he gets uptight. Been together 4 years and don't even know what he gets paid.
That would be a problem for me.
Right. So let's talk about what's really going on here, right? Not the finances. Let's break down everything else. You've been together for 4 years. You can't have a conversation about finances. You don't know what he makes. You guys aren't a team. And he's your boyfriend.
I wouldn't feel secure in that relationship.
Right. There's a whole lot of what's really being said in situations like this. So in the situation where you bring up finances, like how much do you make an hour? What does our finances look like moving forward? I'm assuming you live together at 4 years. I'm assuming you live together. But if that's the case, how can you guys live together and not know the security of the future? How are you going to buy a house together one day? Do you know what his credit score is? Like all of these things speaks to a lack of permanence, in my opinion, right? Because you're living under one roof, but not living as one flesh. And
secrecy too. Right.
There's a whole lot of exit strategy in my head where people will be like, well, I'm stacking all this money and doing my thing because I can fucking dip out at any time.
Yeah.
Right? There's no, I don't know. There's a lot there. She then said he stopped contributing to our savings before Christmas and hasn't since. I've asked 3 times in therapy and we do live together. This sounds like a situation where you don't really need to be there, especially if he's not adding to your savings, because at this point it's our savings. And he's not adding to it, which means he has access to your money and you have no idea what's going on with his. That's a problem. That's where a whole lot of things can really fall apart.
My mind would go to extremes. Like, do you have a secret family you don't want me to know about?
Right.
Are you entertaining other women? Are you staying in hotels? Are you buying lavish gifts for someone else that you don't want me to see?
OnlyFans.
Right.
Porn addictions. There's a whole lot of things that come into that. Yep.
That would be a no-go for me.
She said it's my apartment and he moved in with me. That's an even bigger problem because now you're floating the bill for his life. Anything else on finances before we move on to parenting?
No.
Okay. This is a big one. Parenting's a big topic, especially when there's a stay-at-home mom involved. Stay-at-home person even, for that matter. If you have somebody that's working all day and comes home and they've been in a stressful outdoor environment or out of the house environment and they come home, all they want to do is relax. The other side of that coin is somebody's been in the house all day with fucking screaming kids. And let's be honest, no matter how well behaved your kids are, there's going to be days where your kids are too fucking much for you. And all you want to do is be able to decompress. So at the end of the day, one person's going, I can't wait to get home so I can decompress. And the other person's going, I can't wait for them to get home so I can decompress. There needs to be a decompression time for both people at the end of a work day. The person who works outside of the house still needs to be involved with raising the children.
Yes.
Parenting is just that. You're not a babysitter, you're a parent. So having homework scheduled while mom cooks, maybe dad helps with homework, or maybe he takes them outside to play in the yard while mom is taking a bath, right? There's still ways that dad or the mom, if she works outside of the home, can be present in their child's life in a meaningful way. Because if your kid grows up and the only interactions that they have with you is you being a dick coming home from work and then playing video games and ignoring your family all fucking night, there's not going to be a connection to your kids there.
Right.
Your kids are going to grow up and resent you because you spent no time with them. So that the parenting aspect is big, because we get emails all the time about all he does is come home from work and drinks, or all he does is come home and sits on the couch and scrolls or plays video games. He gets mad when I hand the kid off. I hate that phrase. I hand the kid off. You don't hand your kid off. You say, hey, babe, I'm glad you're home. Are you decompressed? I would like to take a bath. You mind taking, maybe go out to the park or take the kids somewhere for a little while, get some ice cream. Just give me a little bit of peace and quiet, and then I'll come back in, take over, and we'll fucking do the family thing for the rest of the night. I'll make dinner. We can watch a movie. We'll put them in bed. Like there's all of that. Now, when it comes to the main parent, you are the main parent. And even if the kids were biologically my kids, you would still be the main parent.
Yes.
Story time at night is your gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would probably read to them if you weren't there. Like if you were like, hey, I'm going to go out tonight, can you read to the kids? Absolutely. But if that was not a thing, I would want the kids to read to themselves because I want them to learn to read and be articulate. There's a bonding thing that I see between you and the kids when you read to them every night, and like they get to fall asleep listening to your voice. The kids are very attached to you because you have facilitated an environment where they can do that. I'm not a couch. I'm not a pillow.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't cuddle on the couch with the kids, and it's not all the time. Little Miss has absolutely laid on me while we've watched TV, but it's not a go-to thing. If all of us are in the living room, they are fucking stuck to you like a magnet, and I'm sprawled out on the other side of the couch, and I'm totally fine with that.
Holding my foot.
Right. Same thing with the dogs though. When the dogs get on the couch, they lay with you. I don't want them fucking laying on me.
Yeah.
But that's me. So you want to talk about the main parenting aspect and how that falls on you?
Yes. I am also an authority figure to the children. I have not always been that way. I was a single mom for a bit. When I left my ex-husband, I was in this limbo for years. And I dated people. But I was that parent who, I'm going to count to 3. Or I'm going to repeat myself until you finally listen. And now I've gotten to the point where I'll say it one time. If the children don't listen, I'll be like, eyeballs, look at my eyes. What did I just say to you? I'm not repeating myself. If you didn't hear it, try to figure out what I said. You should have been paying attention, right? I will also do this thing where I'll look at the kids and I'll say, we'll be in the middle of something. They argue. They're at that age where she looked at me, mommy.
Right.
And they'll think it's cute or funny, or they're doing something they know they shouldn't be doing, but they think that it's goofy in the moment. I'll be like, look at me. Do I look like I'm laughing right now? No, then you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. I'm also trying to, this is kind of like a sidebar, but I'm also trying to teach the children to pay attention to my tone of voice. Look at my body language. You would know if what you were doing is okay or not based on how I talk to you, the way that I'm responding with my bodily behavior, all those kinds of things. But I think as being the primary parent, those are important lessons to teach your children.
Yeah.
If you're going to be the primary parent, you can't be a pushover. I have seen so many moms say, well, they act right when dad gets home because you're not a parent to them.
Right. Dad's the authority.
Right. They know they can get away with things with you because you're either parenting out of guilt or you don't want to traumatize them the way that you were traumatized in childhood, all those kinds of things. And being the primary parent has been a very rocky road for me. Now it's very smooth. I very rarely raise my voice anymore. Raised my voice this morning because the kids were doing something they knew they shouldn't be doing because both adults were out of the room.
You were also on the other side of the house.
Yeah.
So you had to yell for them to hear you.
Yeah.
The primary parent thing and doing all of that, like I still will step in when I need to, but it's not my place to do that all the time. If you're handling it, there's no reason for me to get involved. I also am a lot more stern when I talk to the kids, and having that, there's a fear that they're going to view Pops as an asshole.
Yeah.
Because I am stern when I talk to them. It's a no bullshit policy with me. There's also a difference between having that and not playing with them and just being a fuckface to them all the time. And I'm not that. I play with them all the time.
Yeah.
But when I'm having a conversation with them, I'm not baby talking or making fucking moronic sounds and doing that kind of shit. Like we're having...
Oh, no. Our children know very big words.
Right. We're having adult conversation because I want them to grow up and be articulate. The other thing that I wanted to touch on with the parenting is the dad being the authority figure. When that happens, you make dad the villain.
Right. He's the bad guy.
So when they grow up, he's the bad guy. And it'll make it so that as they become adults, they may not be as connected to dad as they should be because both parents are not involved and making sure the kids are well adjusted.
Right.
So
I also want to touch on, there are times, so majority of the time I will handle disciplining, planning outings, all those kinds of things. I still get to points where I walk up to you, I'm like, I'm about to lose my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking through my teeth. I want to yell at these kids. I want to throw things. I need you to step in so I can go take a breather so I don't lose it.
right.
And you step in, you are much calmer than I am, so you can handle the situation far better than I could when I'm elevated to that point. And it's not a quick elevation. It's been an all day. These children are not listening. They're running around the house, parkouring, climbing things like monkeys, arguing, fighting, having attitude with me. And now I'm at my breaking point at 6 o'clock at night.
It's teamwork.
Right. And you also don't get shitty about it.
No.
You don't want to see me that way. And we've had multiple conversations where you've said, I become irritated because I can tell you're irritated by the children.
Yep.
And we've had to practice that separation because I've also gotten to, I can tell something's going on with you because of the kids. And then I start to become elevated because I know you're not okay. Children are acting up.
Yep.
And I am no longer just myself. I am commingled in this amoeba of chaos that has become the household. And that separation is also important. If both parents are elevated, nothing calm is going to happen in that situation.
I agree. And it's good to have that calm parent there, because when you start to become emotionally elevated, it's hard to remember that you're dealing with a child.
Yeah.
Right. I also want to point out that when we're talking about a 6 and 7-year-old,
Yeah.
when the kids are 13 and 14 years old, the conversation will be very different about who's doing what, because there's gonna be a whole lot of shit going on with little man that you're not gonna be able to deal with, that I'm gonna have to step in and deal with.
Yeah, and I grew up in an old lady household, so I can't even fathom.
Right. Well, at 13, 14 years old, he's becoming a man.
Right.
I know that society says otherwise. He's not a man until he turns 18, but with rites of passage and the way that we are raising our kids at 13, 14 years old, he should be established enough that he should be able to take care of himself and do things.
Yeah.
So the conversations with him will look very different than they do at 6 and 7 years old, because in my eyes, he's still very immature. He's a child still.
Yes.
But
he's still a baby to me.
Right.
Like I don't treat him like he's a baby in diapers, but he still is, like you said, very young, very imaginative, doesn't understand the world for what it is. Everything is sunshine and rainbows.
So as that evolves, as he's growing up, the roles between parents will change.
Yeah.
And though you will still be primary parent, there will be a whole lot of things that I will have to step in and deal with, or his dad will, that will not involve you whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that it's important to recognize that the age of the children matters when it comes to setting up your parenting and the way that you handle things.
I hate that, but we've seen it through civilizations throughout history.
Yeah.
Spartan boys were taken away at the age of 8.
Yep.
To be trained to become men. That change does have to happen. I'm glad that's not a thing.
I wish it was a thing.
Not to that extent.
Well,
I don't want my son being prepared for war at the age of 8.
Right.
You know.
But
I think that rites of passes need to be a thing, and rituals and earnings of things. Like you've talking about taking him camping and giving him something on that camping trip to signify the importance of the things that he's learning.
Right.
And the steps that he's taking to transition from being a young boy to a young man.
Yeah. At 8 years old, your kid should know how to cook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's survival things that they need to know how to do. That's basic life shit. Most kids at 13, 14 years old now still can't cook. Like there's living in a city especially, there's a whole lot of parents out there that don't want their kids doing shit because they don't want their Tupperware getting fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, but I do think that there's an absolute rite of passage that still needs to happen. I don't think it needs to be as extreme as getting ready for war, but at 8 years old, things need to start happening.
Yeah.
You know, there's just a whole lot that goes into all of that.
And talking at 6 and 7 years old, our kids know how to use an air fryer. They know how to use the stove. They know how to use the oven. They use their little step stool to move around the kitchen independently to get themselves drinks and make cereals and all those kinds of things. They know how to, I bought them a child safe knife set. So they're helping me chop veggies and meats and preparing dinners, and
life shit.
They're growing up and I hate it. I love it. It's a beautiful thing, but it breaks my heart because they won't need me.
Yeah. Well, they shouldn't need you.
I know.
They should want you, you know? So let's move on to the next topic is
Okay.
service. What it means to serve versus him and her.
I'm not picking fights for you. Right? You're the protector of the family. And your service of me looks like move to my left.
Yeah.
And my service back to that is doing it without question.
Well, that definitely speaks to the protection aspect because you can't protect somebody that's fighting you while you're trying to protect them because you're fighting a war on two fronts at that point. Like that's definitely problematic. Service to me is, babe, I have a flat tire. I'll be there in 5 minutes, right? That's service because I'm giving up everything of my day and everything I'm doing, stopping to come and rescue you for something that you could totally fucking do yourself or to call AAA, right? Because we have roadside assistance on somebody could come do this shit just in case I'm not capable.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't. Ooh, my triceps are sore.
Mine too.
We worked out yesterday
morning.
for the first time in a while. My chest is not. My triceps are.
Yeah, I went to go take off my shirt last night for bedtime to put on my nightgown, and I got stopped here, and I was like, "Oh my god, am I gonna have to call my husband?" And I was like, "No, I can do this." And like I started shimmying, and I was like, "Oh god, even that hurts."
But so that's the service aspect. Service sometimes looks like stopping to get you Wawa on the way home, even though it's on the other side of the street in the opposite direction, and I have to make 2 fucking U-turns to get there. Right?
Yeah.
Like there's a whole lot of just trying to make sure that your partner has everything that they need, and that's what service looks like. And that doesn't really break down to a gender specific thing to me.
Right.
You know, it comes down to just making sure that if I need you, you're there, and if you need me, you're there. Like however that was supposed to be worded, you got the point.
Service looks like cleaning up after each other.
Right. You want to touch on my job to protect and your job to heal? Because that was your bit of this.
So just by nature, men are going to be built physically stronger. Unless women take a bunch of drugs, spend hours in the gym daily and build up those kinds of muscles. You and I can go to the gym, same amount of time. I will never be able to lift the same amount of weight that you can.
Nope. Built different.
Right. Women are harbingers of life in more than one way. We create life within our bodies. I believe that our laughter carries magic with it. We light up rooms when we walk into them. At the end of the day, when you've been fighting war after war after war and you come home to me, I believe that I'm a safe place for you to land and to lick your wounds, to be able to heal yourself. And you doing that for me looks very different than it looks for me doing it for you. Yeah. And I'm able to protect you in ways that, like, outside of strength, like mental fortitude, giving you encouragement, not letting you talk shit about yourself.
Right. You know, we used to, and in tribal communities, we always had a medicine man or a medicine woman, right? You had your shaman or whatever you want to call it. And we had a dedicated person that was part of our tribe that would heal people. As we broke off and moved away from that, women took that role and learned about plant medicine and making tinctures and doing all of the things because that was part of the housework. So when somebody's not feeling well in the house, you're the one that takes care of it. That's part of that.
Yeah.
That's part of the healing aspect. And that is part of your role in terms of a traditional marriage. It's not my duty to do that.
Right.
Should I know how to do that? Absolutely. Is it my space to do that? No, it's your job, right? Yeah. And that speaks to making sure the kids have everything they need as well. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean that you have to make every fucking tincture in your house, but if kids have diarrhea, there should be Imodium there, right? That's not something I should have to think about. If I got food poisoning and I need electrolytes, babe, where are the electrolytes? Third cabinet, blah, 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 blah. So that I can just go get that. That's part of that. So I definitely think that it's important to recognize that we do have very big roles in the service aspect of protecting and healing. And that healing can actually look like a physical aspect as well. And that could look like stretching me sometimes too, or digging your elbow into my sciatic nerves to try to get that knot to release. Like,
I also want to touch on that food as medicine.
It is.
So if you're feeding your family ravioli or
McDonald's 5 nights a week because it's right across the street and it's faster than cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are not the healer of your family. You're poisoning them.
Technically, you are poisoning them. Yeah. Yep. Final decisions is the next topic. This is one that pisses off a lot of fucking people.
Yeah. I I want to touch on, I do have final decision making in certain aspects of our life.
Like what?
Dinner. Outings with the children. Most of the time, date nights. Vacations. Where do you want to go? I want to go to Bali. You'll make it happen.
Yeah. So on the vacation and date nights, that's not really a final decision thing. That is me wanting to make sure that I'm able to make you happy.
Yeah.
Because if you were like, we're going to go watch a burlesque show, I know you would never do that because we don't do that. But if that was the thing and I'm like, I'm not comfortable doing that, I'm not doing that, we would not do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that in that aspect, there's not really a final decision. There is a want for me to make sure that you have your cup filled in self-care and love and all of the things that you get when we go out on dates.
All right.
Because I can get that on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like when we do a lot of those things, it is more for you than it is for me. So where do you want to eat when we go on dates? You know, what do you want to do for dates? Absolutely is more about you than me, but I don't think that you get final say in those.
Yeah.
Just in those two things.
Okay.
I will say that I concede to you on those things 99.9% of the times just because I want to make you happy.
Yeah. Well, I'm also not doing off the wall shit.
Right.
Like I'm not choosing things that you can't physically do and are watching from the sidelines.
Right. Well, that speaks to our team.
Yeah.
And you wanting to make sure that I'm enjoying myself on our dates as well. Right. That speaks the trust of the money that we were speaking on earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fucking important. If you know, my back's fucked up. If you're like, let's go rock climbing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch you rock climb indoors where there's air conditioning, so I'm not standing in the fucking sun while you do it, but I can't do that with my back the way that it is.
Right.
You're not trying to do that shit. You're not trying to put me in a position where I'm uncomfortable or hurting. So that speaks to a place of love and understanding.
I also have final decision making when it comes to the children.
Yeah.
Everything gets run by me when it comes to the children.
Yeah. That would be the case even if they were my kids.
Right.
Like biologically, that would be the case.
It's because I'm the main parent.
Right.
And now transitioning the conversation to you having final decision making in life, you have proven yourself to be a man who is worthy of having that. And that's not a fun job to have.
No, it sucks. Because if something goes wrong, I have no one to point the finger at but me. And people, especially on the internet, don't get that.
Yeah.
They think it's about control. And it's not about control. It's about making sure that you have the life that I want you to have. And if you're in a good marriage, your husband wants you to have the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I will do everything that I can to make sure that that's a thing. Sometimes it's not going to work, but I have not made decisions that have royally fucked us either. You know what I mean? I'm not doing things out of selfishness. I'm doing things to better our standing and our positions. And like, I'm not, I want to do really stupid shit all the time. All the time. I have to dial that shit back because there's a family there that I have to make sure has what they need. And again, that does speak to the quality of the man. Some men aren't meant to be leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And for a woman who wants to submit and allow her man to lead and make final decisions, you have to find a man that can do that, or you're going to end up living in your mom's basement or his mom's basement. Right? Like there's a whole lot of fucking men out there who are, dude, did you hear the, sorry, I just called you dude. Did you hear that there is a new phrase going around called stay-at-home sons? I'm not kidding. I heard this yesterday. It was actually a topic on one of the news networks. It showed up on my YouTube channel. There is a new movement of women who thinks it's fucking cute to have stay-at-home sons because their sons are 40 years old and living in their house and have no aspirations.
That's disgusting.
It is fucking disgusting.
That's disgusting. That is sad. Weak times. Oh, what is it? Easy times create weak men.
Yeah. Weak men create hard times.
Yeah.
Hard times create strong men.
I can't stand women sometimes. How selfish.
Yeah.
You need somebody to rely on you so much that you are willing to sacrifice your son's life to fill your cup.
Yeah. Well, and that might not always be the case. There could be sons out there that just don't want to do anything because I didn't ask to be born. You should have to take care of me. We've heard that argument too. The reality of it is this is your life. And you can either choose to live it or not, but you're not going to do it here.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the thing for me.
Yeah.
And if women stop dating men like that, and started looking for quality men and stopped sacrificing their life and their body to men who aren't worthy of it, that shit would change.
Yeah, I thought about that too. You know, I've had conversations with our 7-year-old son. If you want a wife, you're not going to behave this way.
Right.
You want to be married one day, you're not going to behave this way. That just absolutely blows my mind that that's a movement.
Yeah. So here's a thought because of what you just said. We've actually had people say that it's weird that our 6 and 7-year-olds are focusing on marriage and that we have those conversations with them.
Are you serious?
Yep. Do you think that's weird?
No.
I don't either. I don't either.
Well, what else are we supposed to tell the children when they ask us, why do mommy and pops do that?
Right.
Why do you guys do that for each other? Because we're married.
Yeah. Every Disney movie made up until the woke ones recently
is about marriage.
It's the prince saving the princess and you know, the fucking chivalrous knight slaying dragons and doing all of the things, waking up Sleeping Beauty and like your one true love. That's all marketed to kids. So why is it fucking weird all of a sudden that we're trying to prepare our children to be good human beings for their partner one day? Because their childhood is a very small percentage of their life and we want them to be children, but we are trying to prepare them. It's no different than teaching them life skills. Shit blows my mind.
Yeah, I have conversations like that with my children because I grew up in a household where those conversations weren't a thing and I got myself into abusive relationships. I got myself into situations where I didn't know how I was going to get out of it.
Yeah, right.
I was a piece of shit woman to the men I was with because those conversations were not had.
So back to the final decision-making thing real quick. I just want to point out that heavy is the head that wears the crown situation. My duty is to make sure that everything in our house is taken care of in terms of finances, in terms of safety, protection, vacations, vehicle maintenance, making sure that your brakes are good. Really, dude? All of that shit falls on my shoulders. And in the event that something goes wrong, it does fall to me.
I also wanted to touch on before we transition. You don't make decisions without talking to me about it.
No, that was where my next thing. That was where that was going. Go ahead.
There are always conversations that happen, and it's multiple conversations. And you ask me for my opinions on things. My opinions and my words matter to you. I matter to you. If a woman is with a man who doesn't care about you, I can see why this would be a problem.
Right.
I am not waking up 3 weeks from now and finding out you spent $10,000 on an investment and hoping that it works out for the better.
Right. Our savings.
Right.
Right.
You also have foresight. You're not making a rash decision, not thinking about how it's going to impact our finances in the next 6 months. You're not willing to blow our mortgage money on gambling.
Right. I wrote in No One's Coming to Save You, I actually talked about leadership a little bit. And I had talked about being able to lead based off data. And if you don't get information from everyone in your household, you can't make an informed decision. You are acting out of selfishness and ego at that point. Mm-hmm. And that is a recipe for disaster. If you and I are on different sides of the fence and you give me all the things that you think is going to go wrong, and I go, yeah, it's not going to go wrong. I got this. Shut the fuck up. And I go about my life. What I was saying is if you give me all the information of all the negative things that are going on and I'm like, I got this, don't worry about it. And I shut you down and I go do something and we fail because of it, that's a problem. Now, if you lay out all your options and it takes me 3 weeks to make a decision because I've been weighing everything and I really feel like the best decision was my way, that's not me shitting on you and shutting you down. That's me processing the information that you gave me, weighing all of our options, doing a little bit of research to see if I'm right or you're right or what the right answer or situation may be, and then moving forward from there. That's leadership. Leadership's not being a dictator or a tyrant or bossing people around.
I agree. I don't have anything else on that one.
Okay. Dates.
How many more things do we have on the list?
Dates, home responsibilities, driving in cars, and then intimacy perspectiveness.
So it's been almost an hour.
Yep.
Do you want to make a part 2 of this another time?
I would like to just bang through this. We're not going to be going live again for a while. This is it. So
I let you know I want to go on dates. Hey, babe, I want to have date night this week. And be like, okay, let me figure it out. And then you'll give me a short list of, do you want to do this, this, or this? And I'll pick it. And then you drive me there.
Right. So in that situation, we have the ability to have a conversation, allow me to make the final decision, and then we both get to do something we enjoy because you told me you wanted to do a date night and now I have to find things to do. Or You go, hey, I found this park I want to go to. Let's do a date day, and we go do that. I don't think that it's one person's responsibility to plan dates. I do think dates are something that should happen. But I think that when dates need to happen, it's because somebody's got something they're lacking, and those are the people who need to try to figure the date out. If you're just like, I want to spend quality time with you, let's do something, that's very different than going, I need a date night.
Yeah.
I want to go to the opera. I want to go watch Wicked. I want to go to
Cinebistro.
Cinebistro. Right.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Right.
Their pasta's so good.
But there's times where that's on the menu for you and you're very specific, like what's playing at Cinebistro right now. I know you're obviously wanting to go to the movies and need to look at the dates, right? And see what's playing. But I think that that's what it comes down to with dates. I don't think that that's a pink job or a blue job thing. I think that communication needs to be had about what's being needed and how can we meet those needs for each other and make it an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
I also think that dates speak to reconnecting. And if you feel disconnected from your person, date nights need to happen to reconnect. And I think that dates are one of those things that should be without technology or with technology, if that's what you guys are doing. Like if you're going laser tag, there's technology involved. But, cell phones should not be a priority at the dinner table if you guys are on a date night.
Yeah, I am very good at clearly defining what I want to do. I want to go to the beach.
Right.
I want to go to a botanical garden. I want to go to Tennessee for a week.
Yeah. Well, that allows me to serve you.
Yeah.
Right. It allows me to be your superhero because you gave me a need or a request and allowed me to fill that request. So like I'm winning. And even if it was your idea, it doesn't fucking matter because I'm the one that was able to, book the tickets or take you there or whatever the case may be. And then we get to spend time doing the thing that you wanted to do.
Right.
So
I don't have anything else on that.
me either. Home responsibilities. We're skip that one.
Yeah, I think that goes
pink and blue. Yeah.
Pink and blue, yeah.
Driving in cars.
When we're traveling together, you drive.
Always.
Even when you're exhausted.
Even when we're dropping my vehicle off and you drove to pick me up, you get out and get in the passenger seat.
I do.
That's part of my protect.
Yeah.
It is my job to make sure you're safe. And if I'm driving, I can make sure you're safe. Unless you're a shitty driver, right? If I was a shitty driver, you would drive because it's safer for you. Your job is to co-pilot.
Yeah.
Hand out snacks. Fucking
navigation.
Talk to me when I'm tired. That kind of thing. Cars, when it comes to cars, it's my responsibility in the blue jobs to make sure cars are maintained. I've set 2 appointments for your vehicles in the last 3 days because it's time for things to get done. Now, on a day that I don't have anything going on, I could take your car and just sit there and wait for it to get finished, or I could do it myself, or we can drop it off because there's other vehicles you can drive and we can just go get it.
Yeah.
The dropping it off and picking it back up is the most convenient, and that's mostly what we do. But it is my duty to schedule that shit because I get the alerts. Like, you don't even get the text messages. You got one in your car on the screen saying it's time for a service, but I got a text message right afterwards.
I took a picture and sent it to him.
Right. I've gotten 3 text messages about the Bronco because it's time for your Broncos update. The cars are letting the dealerships know when your services are due now. But that is my responsibility. And then the last one.
Before we move on, it's also your job to pump gas.
Yeah. Yeah. Very rarely, like if we're ever together and both cars are there, I will pump your gas.
Yeah.
If I'm in the vicinity, I will come to where you're at and pump your gas.
Yeah, you've met me at the gas station to pump my gas.
Right. The reality is if you got home and you were like, hey, my truck's on E, I would just go get your gas. You don't ever do that though. I don't know if
I didn't know that was an option.
Absolutely an option. I will absolutely go to the gas station for you every time you need it. You just
my Bronco's almost to a quarter tank.
Okay, well then I need to drive your pink ass Bronco to the thing. But that's one of those things that like I have no problem doing that.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot easier for me to go get your gas and just take care of it than to do that. If you're under a quarter a tank though, just get gas.
Yeah.
Like don't fucking run out of gas.
Well, that's how
gonna
I
be
live life.
A much hard. Right, I know you do. Which is why I don't ever give you shit for not telling me that you need gas.
I always skim it right before.
I hate that.
I get the little light notification. I'm like, okay, it's time to hit a gas station.
We get a quarter tank and I'm panicking.
Yeah. I don't.
I have ran out of gas twice in my life. Once on a major highway and once in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
And both sucked for different reasons. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I've also ran out of gas pulling into a gas station.
Gee.
But that was on a motorcycle. And we were on a long ass ride and like I had pinned it way too much and shot my load. Probably shouldn't have done that. But I coasted in with no gas to the pump. It was great.
Nice.
It was the best gas.
It was great because you got to the gas station.
Right. And I had to push my bike. Yep. All right. Intimacy and perspectives. I don't remember why we wrote this down.
I don't remember why I wrote that down either.
What does intimacy look for you as a stay-at-home? Or as a traditional wife, I should say?
Well, there are intimate things that you do to me that I would never do to you. I'm not pinning you against a wall.
Okay, hang on a second. Brittany just said, I'll take your pink Bronco to get gas, and that's how you know a man who will go get tampons, no problem, secure in his masculinity. I carry a box of emergency tampons in my backpack for her. I give 0 fucks. In the event that there's a bullet wound, I have a plug stopper. Like, we can plug that hole right now. I don't give a shit. The idea that sanitary napkins or sanitary products are ew while they're brand new and in the package is fucking wild to me.
Right.
It's gonna have to get cut.
Why?
Because this is gonna be really gross.
Oh, what you're about to say.
It's gonna be really, really gross.
Okay.
I will pull your fucking tampon out with my teeth.
Yeah.
I give 0 fucks about any of that. I will shake that bitch like a dog toy. I don't give a fuck. There's no bodily fluid that's gonna come out of you that I'm not equipped to deal with.
Okay.
Other than mucus. Like snot, like seeing you spit into a cup.
Yeah.
And like collect it as you're mucusy and sick fucks with my stomach like you wouldn't believe. But in the moment where you got to spit, doesn't bother me. It's when it's collecting in a clear container that I can see it.
Yeah, I started using like empty Coke cans or something.
Oh.
When I'm purging, I don't want to get up every 5 minutes to spit in the sink.
No, I get it. I don't know what it is. I think, and I never had an issue with shit like that ever. I think it stems from Sean's pussy arm. From the time that he had an infectious surface piercing and smelling that, like it completely just... Okay, back to this because that was gross.
That would do it.
So back to the intimacy thing. You said pinning you against the wall.
Yeah, I'm not going to pin you against the wall.
I appreciate that.
I'm not going to pull you to me on the bed. Those kinds of
I would
things.
like to see you try.
I bet I could.
I bet you couldn't. I bet you couldn't.
When we get home.
I think we need to try the TikTok fireman thing.
Where I pick you up and put you
where
on
you have to roll me onto your back and try to stand up.
Word.
Dead weight.
Sold.
We should record that. We'll do it this weekend when we don't have the kids.
Let's go. I think I could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten pretty good at squatting with both of the children on me.
Yeah, both of the children combined weigh less than half of me.
No, they're about 100 pounds.
Right, and I'm 250.
And then I would say that's about half.
It's not.
I picked up Ivy the other day.
She's a quarter of me. She's less than a quarter of me. She's 1/5.
Yeah. You're my little baby. So there are intimate things that you do as my husband, as ooh, it makes me go, huh. But what? Yeah.
That's funny.
But like I do things like I caress the back of your head when we're hugging.
Yeah.
And you grab my hair. I also like holding your face.
There's intimacy and then there's sexual intimacy.
Yeah.
Intimacy to me is like buying you chocolates or finding some random thing at a gas station and going, hey, I know you didn't ask for this, but here it is. Like the gift giving is a form of intimacy to me. Putting my arms around your waist while you're in the kitchen cooking and then stealing some food, running away, right? Like those are intimate moments because we are having closeness with goofiness, laying in the bed at night and having conversations and giggling with each other and being really fucking stupid when we're tired. Like that is all intimate as fuck to me.
Taking your shoes off.
Yeah. It's getting harder and harder for you to do that though, as I'm becoming closer and closer to a dirty foot. I'm not even wearing socks anymore.
Yeah. I'm wearing slippers as we speak.
It's going to get to the point where I'm just barefoot in the shit everywhere.
I'll wash your feet for you.
Okay. So there's an intimacy there. There's a way to serve in that moment. Like there's a true love in that. Buff Bell said by the end of Costa Rica, he had almost a full head of hair. She shaves my head for me.
I do that, yeah.
And I have hair everywhere except for right there.
I groom your beard too.
Yep, you do. You shave it, trim it up, and then you try to get the spots that I can't see. But those are intimate moments, right? You are taking care of me in a way that I could take care of me. I've done it my whole fucking life, but it's just one more thing that we get to do together. Those moments are sustainable for our entire relationship as long as you don't take them for granted.
Yeah.
I am grateful that you hand me my plate every night, or that you cook dinner, or that you do my beard. And there's times where I'm like, hey, I know you're busy right now, but like I did this yesterday. I was like, I would like a shake, and I can totally make it. And you're like, no, I got it, right? Because I'm not trying to add more to your plate. I know you're busy right now, so like there's an intimacy in that as well, because I'm doing for you or looking out for you instead of just making a demand.
Right.
Like I know it's your job to feed me and take care of my food intake. Where's my breakfast? That's very different than, hey, I can tell you're kind of dealing with a lot with the kids right now. I am hungry. I'm gonna make my shake. And you're like, no, I got it. Like there's.
Yeah.
Jenna said, I want my man to make me feel petite, dainty, and soft, but also kind of like a shield maiden. Do you think I got that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. You make me feel like a delicate fairy, but also like a badass warrior.
Because I taught you how to ride dirt bikes, right?
Yeah.
Buff Bell said the entire animal kingdom grooms their mates. It's normal, right? That is natural evolution.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have mirrors. We had to take care of each other. And that's what intimacy looks like. It looks like taking care of each other. Sexual intimacy looks like a whole lot of fun. And that's a very different conversation. But I think it's important you serve your person. And that is an intimate thing.
I'm willing to put your socks and shoes on for you.
You have put one of my socks on before. She Spider-Man on a zip line. She's a badass. That's funny.
Hell yeah.
Well, that's our conversation on traditional value situations. Probably not at all what the person who left that comment intended.
Yeah.
Because his conversation was just about finances, but I think we covered a lot.
I think for our next Friday content, we should talk about how we handle disruptions.
Okay. Should probably make notes about that ahead of time then.
Okay.
And by we, I mean you.
I can do that.
Because it was totally your idea. And I won't even look at them. We'll just spitball it, kind of like what we just did.
Yeah.
So.
Looks like the rain's starting to pick up.
Yeah. And you want Taco Bell.
I do want Taco Bell.
Well, with that being said, guys, we hope you enjoy this.
We have to go relieve. Oh.
I'm glad you were paying attention.
You were doing the sign off.
Yeah.
We had Carrie for a few hours today, and we have to go relieve the children. Relieve her of the children. Look, do it again. Go. Hit it.
I hope you guys enjoyed this.
We made it for you.
Remember, you are the author of your own life.
So grab a pen.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.